You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. A Port Washington school superintendent has pleaded not guilty to DWI after a crash that hurt a biker. Police say Michael Hines crashed his car into a Harley-Davidson on Railroad Avenue and Depot Street in Sayville last night. The judge says a blood test is pending.
Police officer stated that the motorcycle was traveling at a very high rate of speed. We have witnesses that can attest to that as well.
The 53-year-old was set to leave the district next year for another opportunity in private education. And here's a look at the damage from Sunday's DWI crash that set 4 boats on fire. It happened in Babylon. The boats involved were brand new 2025 models.
They were brand new boats, 2025s. Yep.
25.
Yep.
Wow. Do you have an idea of maybe what the estimate damages might be?
I haven't really looked. They're so burnt. I wait till tomorrow and figure, but it's a lot.
Police say they got multiple calls about a driver going the wrong way on Route 231. Lori Ibe was charged with DWI. And special counsel for Donald Trump is looking to dismiss the 2020 election interference case. The president-elect is accused of plotting to overturn the election, which led up to the January 6 Capitol riots. The Justice Department wants all 4 felony charges dropped before Trump's inauguration. And the NYPD has sworn in its 49th police commissioner. Jessica Tisch is the second woman to hold this position. She was sworn in next to her mother and her 2 sons. The 43-year-old comes from a role in sanitation commissioner and has spent more than a decade in the NYPD. And a $19 billion redevelopment project is underway at JFK Airport. Here's a look at the construction at Terminal 1. It will include 23 international gates when complete. A Port Authority says the ongoing work will impact holiday travel.
Leave extra time if you plan to travel through one of the Port Authority airports this weekend. Leave at least 3 hours to get to the airport.
1.3 million passengers are expected to pass through JFK this Thanksgiving. And there are 6 new balloons lined up for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Spider-Man, Minnie Mouse, and Marshall from Paw Patrol will be floating around this year. More than 3.5 million people are expected to line the streets to watch, with more than 50 million viewers tuning in on TV. Rain is possible, but the parade is still on. And only in Newsday, the first ever official Thanksgiving in New York State was celebrated right here on Long Island. Daniel Campbell takes us back in time.
Often the past has ties to the future, proven by this discovery, written so simply and yet speaks volumes. Here in the bustling seaport of Oyster Bay, in the British colony of New York, a schoolmaster takes quill to parchment and writes in his journal what is believed to be the first historic record of a Thanksgiving celebration on Long Island.
We're talking about a very early Thanksgiving celebration. We do have here in our collection at Raynham Hall Museum the Diary of Zachariah Weeks.
The entry, written in November of 1759, was discovered by educators here at Raynham Hall Museum in the journal kept by Zachariah Weeks, who was Oyster Bay's schoolmaster at the time.
The entry was from Sunday, November 25th, and it reads in part, "Last Thursday being a day set apart by our governor for public thanksgiving for the success of His Majesty's forces in America."
The success the schoolmaster mentions is in reference to the French and Indian War. The conflict had taken its toll on British forces, but in 1759, a decisive victory had been won.
So we know that in New York colonies, spirits would have been pretty high at this point with the recent successes in battle that the British had had. And we think that it would have been sort of an opportunity to go to church and to be thankful to God.
But after church, there was sure to be some type of meal.
We do think that it would have involved some good eating though, but period appropriate. Seafood definitely would have been on the menu.
Historic cook Diane Schwint agrees. Schwint, who loves stirring up history, demonstrates colonial cooking in the 1659 kitchen of the Ketchum Inn, located in Center Mauritius. She says a Thanksgiving meal in 1759 would have been served here. However,
turkey would not have been on the dining room table, but possibly eel. And eel was a staple here in early America, especially here on Long Island. You would have fish, you'd have venison, rabbit, maybe even squirrel. Some of the old cookbooks have squirrel in them.
so if eel and squirrel is not your thing, maybe this year give thanks you're not celebrating Thanksgiving in 1759.
This would be pretty much what you would have at your table, and you would give thanks.
Danielle Campbell for Newsday TV.
No eel for me, thanks. I'm stuffed. Now, to read more about Thanksgiving on Long Island, go to Newsday.com, click Get More for the Newsday TV video box. Now let's take a look at your Long Island weather. And yes, we'll take a peek at Thanksgiving weather too. So tonight you can see we have cloudy skies, temps in the 40s. Tomorrow it's going to be warmer, but we are dealing with some rain. Taking a closer look at tomorrow, you can see rain pretty much throughout half of the day, and then it peaks out with sun and temps in the high 50s. As for the 7-day forecast, it looks like rain on Thanksgiving, but it looks dry for the weekend. So you gotta take some, you gotta leave some.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Bufa. Thank you so much for joining us.